Regret, according to dictionary.com, is a feeling of sorrow, remorse for a fault, act, loss, disappointment, etc. Regret can come from many sources. Sometimes you regret saying something stupid, or when you don't express what you want to say. Sometimes you regret doing cringy things in high school. Many did. Sometimes you just regret spending your time on something that's not even worth it, whether it's a bad movie, series, manga, or even video game. But for now, I'm going to tell you my biggest regrets about video games. And it's all based on my experience, so take this with a grain of salt. The very first thing I regret is I spend more than I should on video games microtransaction, mostly skins or cosmetics. I get it, it's a human nature. You want to be cooler or stronger. All these companies used to reward us with the privilege of looking cool or getting stronger simply by being better at the game. I'll use a simple example. In Halo 3, certain armor that looks amazing by the way, can only be unlocked by collecting items or completing absurdly hard achievements. But the same developer now just shows a lot of microtransactions into our faces every time we open their game. It just shows how out of the touch they are with their community. But it's not mainly their fault. It's our fault too. No, my fault. Because I gave them my money anyway. Apex Legends, Destiny 2, Overwatch, or Overwatch 2 now, I don't care, and many more. I still remember at the start of this year, Apex Legends got a crossover with Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, and the whole bundle for the heirloom cost $360. Let me repeat this once again, $360 for digital items. Even my country's average salary is like $290 per month. And that's enough for me. I won't give them money for skin or cosmetics that get me nothing in return. And remember, if you want to pay a certain company your money, it's okay, it's your own money anyway. But please be wise and don't regret it like I do. The second thing I regret is achievement hunting and forcing myself to complete a video game. It's just pointless for me now. It kills the enjoyment I had for certain games, and what I get is only a brief moment of happiness and pride before I realize how disappointing I am in real life. Anyway, I get a appeal of 100% or platinuming certain games. It varies. Me myself have already 100% a handful of games on my Steam alone. But the wrong reason for me is assuming that I cannot talk or like about a certain game. If I haven't 100% it keeps running in my mind like, how can I say I'm a fan of Dark Souls if I haven't 100% it? Or, what if my friend said that my build sucks just because I didn't platinum Hades? And yada yada yada. Yeah, you get the point. I'm going to drop you a big bomb of truth. No one cares. The only person in this world who cares about your achievement as much as you do is you. So choose wisely on what you want to achieve next. Again, I hold no grudges against achievement hunters. I was one too. It just doesn't work for me anymore. The third thing I regret is that I didn't start collecting physical copies sooner. Growing up in a third world country is already hard enough, let alone getting the same gaming experience as those in the Western or Japanese markets. I'm quite lucky though, because my grandparents worked in Japan at the time. So when the PlayStation was released, I got one for myself. They got me actually. But that's about it. We have no real access to getting authentic physical copies of video games. All we got were burned CDs, which are not authentic at all. Fast forward to 2012 when I get my hands on Steam for the first time, and it was a game changer. easy access to play together with my friends, since we didn't have any access to Xbox or PlayStation online services until Steam came along, and thus I began my journey to collect video games. Now, I've garnered around 1,000+ games across my 2 Steam accounts, but something hit me hard when I wanted to play Radiant Historia. I used my girlfriend's Nintendo DS with some special card, and all I could think was, I wonder what it feels like if I have the physical copy of this game though. And my brain just went like, okay, why don't we start collecting right now? Instantly, I drained my wallet to get a Nintendo Switch, and it was amazing. I got 2 physical copies as well, Monster Hunter Rise Sunbreak and Monster Hunter Stories 2, and my joy was over the roof. The excitement of receiving the copies because my order was delayed paid off when I booted the game for the first time. It's just like Steam never existed. This doesn't mean that I won't ever buy games digitally ever again. It's just that collecting video games physically holds memories in it. And looking at many delisted games and services closing down, RIP Nintendo 3DS eShop, makes me doubt the future of collecting games digitally. So, in a nutshell, having a physical copy is owning it, and digitally is renting it. I prefer to own what I paid for. And now, the elephant in the room, and the reason I made this video and this YouTube channel as well. My fourth and my biggest regret is making video games my whole personality. Whoa, are you a real gamer? So you are him, the gamer himself. Well, it's not like that, but let me incorporate more. Growing up, I had nothing but video games, mainly JRPGs. And for 26 years of my life, I spent probably 24 years playing video games. Yes, my first game is Harvest Moon Back to Nature, and yes, I didn't know what to do or what the objectives are. Video games were always there for me. When I felt lonely, when I was bullied in middle school, when I experienced heartbreak for the first time, when I got fired from my first job, when my parents divorced, even when the whole world went into lockdown due to a certain virus outbreak, right until now, it was video games. So I think I'm quite entitled to say my whole personality is video games. But I think it's time for me to put on a mantle, because every single person on this earth is unique and amazing, and I believe it for myself that I can be a better person. I remember a lot of times I had arguments with my girlfriend just because I kept playing single-player video games, mainly Baldur's Gate 3 at the time. And I often distance myself with my friends because certain video games were released on the day me and my friends are supposed to hang out together. I really hope I can live those days up. Video games will still, and hopefully always will be a part of my life. But they won't be the whole thing anymore. I'll start appreciating life, leveling up my skills in the real world, and forging my social links. Because in this life, you cannot save scum. There are no rerolls. Consequences will always be there, and our time is limited. One day we will kick the bucket and be remembered as who we are. I don't want people to remember me as Kenny the gamer. I want to be remembered as Kenny who bettered himself. And that's the reason I created this channel. I want to share how I view video games or maybe any other media, and what aspect from that thing or that media that affect and grow me as a person. This channel will be personal. Take it as a journey that I share with you guys. And I get it. It might not be for everyone, but those who stay and accompany me, you have my regards. With that being said, remember I said I'll start collecting physical copies? I chose Nintendo Switch for portability, so I can go outside and touch some grass, spend more time with my girlfriend and my dog, and let's see what new hobby I might stumble upon by not being in front of my computer for 16 hours a day. Maybe I'll make a recap and review on what games I play or collect every month. Probably will be only like one physical copy per month, because physical copy games are so expensive here. But let's see where this goes. It might not be limited to video games only. That's it for the video, guys. I didn't expect it to be a little bit personal on the first video, honestly. But I hope I entertained you guys, or maybe even motivated or educated you. Leave a comment whether it's a critique or anything you want to say to help me improve. And I'll see you next time.